How's it going today, everybody, and welcome back to my channel, Shaner's Mechanic Life. A few months ago, decided to pick up an extended reach ratchet. Picked up this one, 1/4 inch drive. Part number is 2559-20. Now the reason I went with a 1/4 inch is just due to the head size. The head on the 3/8 ratchets is just, I don't know, in my opinion, way too big, and you know, the whole reason of an extended reach ratchet is to get into tight spots. When you got a big head in the way, it's kind of hard to get it into spots. So I've been using this, and then when I need to use 3/8 stuff, I just use an adapter. But just starting to think, you know, I wish there was a way you could convert this into a 3/8. So I did some looking around, and there is a way. I'm going to show you how to do it. So I picked up this replacement 3/8 anvil from Milwaukee. It's from another model. I'll give you all the information and part numbers a little bit later in the video. So what we're going to do, we're going to move this 3/8 into this 1/4 inch ratchet. Now I haven't done this changeover yet, so you're going to go along with me for the first try. Hopefully it's the only try. So first things, you want to remove the snap ring. Now we got to make sure we keep everything in order here in case we need to reuse stuff or swap from model to model. So do a little wiggling around here. And 1/4 inch anvil's out. So I'll just keep all my parts together, kind of get everything out of the way here. Now if you compare the two, the 3/8 anvil is slightly taller. So we got to shave this replacement one down. Now it looks like maybe about a 1/16 of an inch. Now I was looking at it, kind of hard to see here, but you can see on the inside, you can see, yeah, right there, you can see there's a chamfer, and using my irometer, that looks like that's about a 1/16. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get a grinder. Like, again, I don't know what it's gonna take to get this down the right way. You know, trial and error, but I'm just gonna grind it down to the bottom of this chamfer, and hopefully it'll fit in. Anyway, let's try it. So I'm gonna start out trying my air die grinder. Now I'm gonna take my time, and I'm gonna try to make sure you keep it as square as possible, so that way it'll sit in the housing good. Well, let's see how it works here. It's getting down there slowly. So as I'm grinding my way along, you want to watch out you don't hit the selector. So you just kind of move it, grind a little bit, move it back. Just slowly work your way along. You can see where the black is. I haven't started. You can already see it's we're getting close. So just lots of patience. Take your time. So the last thing you want to do is get too crazy and end up buggering us up and having to buy a new one. So I decided to kind of change my approach a little bit. Came up with a little bit better of a way. Got my cutoff wheel. And as you can see, that almost follows the selector perfectly. So that way, if I just gently touch it to the side, it should grind it off nice and square. So I'm going to try that for a little bit, and then we'll compare the two, see how close we're getting. Now I'm going nice and slow. The last thing you want to do is take off too much material too quick, or even worse yet, get your finger cut. I gotta stop drinking so much coffee before I do this little stuff. Well, it's looking pretty close. I think I might compare it, see how we're looking. Now before I compare them, when you put this anvil in, you have to reuse the original snap ring and this disc. We put that to the side, and then we're going to take this snap ring and that disc off, and then we're going to measure the two and see how close we are. When you take this disc off, you gotta be careful that you don't lose these. If they pop out and the springs come out, they can be a bit of a bugger to get back in. So we're going to measure the original, and we'll move this disc over, and then we'll measure the 3/8 one. So I decided, just take your caliper, I'm just going to set it to this, and we'll swap over to this, and it'll be kind of like a go, no-go gauge, so we'll know exactly when we're there. And got a little ways to go yet, so I'll keep on grinding. Move my selector. Now when you're doing this, make sure you got your safety glasses on. You don't need stuff in your eye. Now I went and locked the caliper, so that way I don't have to keep swapping back and forth. But every time we're getting closer and closer. Okay, so I finally got it ground down to the point where I think I'm ready to try it in a ratchet. I've got it down to the same measurement. Now, you could have gotten someone with a lathe or something to turn it down in a machine shop and take exact measurements. But I wanted to do this video with tools that, you know, everybody's got in their garage. Not everybody has access to real expensive lathes and machine shop stuff. So I'm hoping this will work. I guess we'll find out once we put it together and put a battery in and pull the trigger. Now I guess my irometer wasn't calibrated quite right, because my guesstimate was a little bit off. Anyway, as you can see, I've kind of nicked the selector a little bit, but it's not too bad. I pretty much got that shoulder almost all the way down. As you can see, there's just a little lip left. You know, you can just barely catch your thumbnail on it. But just be patient. You know, try grinding it down, fit it in, see if the snap ring goes in. You know, try it, and then until it drops in. You don't want to be too loose. Now another thing is when you go to put it together, what you really got to be careful of are these. You want to make sure you don't lose them. And when you go to install it too, is the pin that holds the pawl in place. You want to make sure that is recessed all the way down, because if that pin comes up, kind of hard to see here, it'll get jammed in here, and the anvil won't turn when you hit the trigger. So anyway, let's put it together and see how it works. Now, one thing is, before you go trying to put it back in the housing, is from grinding, you're going to have a little bit of a ridge here. So what I use is my Milwaukee rotary tool. Part number on this 2460-20, and just have it on low and just kind of clean up around the outside a little bit. Just makes it slide in that much easier when you don't have a ridge. So like I said, make sure all these pins are in place, and the retaining pin for the pawl is all the way down. Take this washer that came with the 1/4 inch ratchet, put it over the 3/8 anvil, and you're ready to drop it into place. Now it's going to take some fiddling to get it all the way in. But once you do, get your snap ring in there. Try not to launch it across the shop and lose it. Get a screwdriver. Just make sure it's fully seated here, which it is. Make sure your selector works freely. Stick a battery on there. One way and go the other way. Now before you put this in, make sure you clean all the bits of metal you filed off, lubricate it, and yeah, you're back in action. You got a 3/8 anvil and a 1/4 inch ratchet. Now I will run this pretty steadily next week, and I'll be putting random comments in the comment section to let you know how it's holding up. So like I said, give this a few weeks before you go trying it yourself. I'll be the guinea pig here. Make sure it keeps working good. Now as far as part numbers and stuff like that, like I mentioned earlier in the video, the 1/4 inch ratchet is a 2559-20. In case you haven't figured it out already, the anvil is for the old style brushed 3/8 ratchet. Part number on that, model number is 2457-20. And the replacement anvil that you need to order through Milwaukee part number is 42061030. Now by doing this, I'm pretty sure I avoided just about every warranty involved with the replacement anvil that I ground down, and the new ratchet that I replaced with parts that didn't come with it. But you know, it's, in my opinion, to me at least, it's worth a try, because I really wanted the 3/8 with a slim head. Now I would definitely keep the original head. Just you know, bag it up, put it someplace safe. So who knows, one day you might want to be able to turn it back to a 1/4 inch ratchet, which is good because the only thing we modified was the anvil and nothing to do with the ratchet. So the factory parts will drop right in whenever you need them next. As far as pricing for the anvil kit, it's going to vary widely depending on where you get it and delivery charges and stuff like that. But you could definitely expect anywhere between, you know, could be as low as $30 and then, you know, as high as $45 depending on shipping or markup at your Milwaukee dealer or repair shop or wherever you happen to find the parts. I just wanted to give a shout out to one of my new subscribers, Mike Sawicki. Thanks a lot for subscribing, and you know, everybody that subscribes, I definitely appreciate it. And hope you like the video. Leave a comment in the comment section. Hit that like button and subscribe. I got more videos coming. Anyway, have a good night, everybody, and thanks for watching.